Mr. Doggett, you recognize to speak on the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. President Trump has made stopping the outsourcing of American jobs a central element of his promise to the American people. Unfortunately, like his promise to have Mexico pay for his unnecessary wall, it's very much a broken promise. Last year, President Trump initially said that he saw no real reason that foreign profits by American companies were being taxed in a way that was different from domestic profits. And that's really what this amendment goes toward. Unfortunately, he's embraced a bill that will encourage the outsourcing of American jobs. It provides a new and powerful loophole to encourage the outsourcing of both jobs and profits. Now, in the course of reviewing what is purported to be a reform of our tax laws, we had a number of people come forward and say, you know, we really don't think that we ought to have to pay any tax on income that we earn outside the United States. And that's really exactly what this bill has done for those who have a good CPA and a bank of tax lawyers. Think, if you will, about the prospects under the bill as it is written, that if you invest here at home, build a new factory here, you will pay under their bill, assuming the 20% rate stays the same, 20% of your taxes. But if you build the same factory abroad, the real effect of their bill is that you will not pay taxes on it. Now, they say they have a 10% tax, if you calculate it, on some of the high returns of American operations overseas. In fact, especially with the changes that were made in the chairman's mark last night, there are many ways to circumvent that requirement. It is a choice that an investor will face. Do we build in San Antonio, our new plant, and pay 20%? Or do we build in Stuttgart and pay 10%? In fact, by using our lawyers and our accountants, given the complex nature of this, we can avoid probably paying any taxes on that foreign investment whatsoever. We know that there are many deficiencies in existing law, but those deficiencies are only replaced with a bigger loophole than exists now. In fact, how the operations would work towards zero liability of their offshore profits was described by Gene Sperling, the former director of the National Economic Council, when he said, the more an American company moves its profitable operations to countries that have tax rates of 20% or higher, other rich companies that are seen as America's economic competitors, the more that company can shift profits to tax havens without paying taxes on those profits. And the more U.S. companies already take advantage of tax havens, the bigger the incentive they have to offshore operations to other advanced countries. The provision of this Republican plan encourages companies to blend income from low-tax countries with that from higher tax countries, completely avoiding paying money to the U.S. government. We know that from the analysis that we've had previously before this committee, that currently about $100 billion a year is being avoided in taxes. Each time that we have tried to address that in the past, such as when companies renounce their American citizenship and decide to move abroad, each time we tried to plug the loopholes, there's been resistance. There's been objection. There have been no opportunity to present that legislation to stop tax havens. Instead, what we have today is one big reward to those who have avoided their taxes through the years and a new incentive that they will outsource even more jobs abroad under this bill that is written. It's just flat wrong that the corner pharmacy should have to pay a rate that is substantially higher on its operations than Pfizer does on its operations. And this amendment simply seeks to, in the bill, to be sure that both are treated the same way, that we tax those profits that are earned abroad the same way that they are taxed here at home. I believe that's the fair way to do it. It will make a major step forward in some tax equity, and it will reduce the possibility that even more jobs will be outsourced out of America. We've lost so many in past years. Our tax code has been part of that. This is a way to prevent that incentivizing of moving more jobs offshore. I yield back.